Hey, what is going on, everyone, and welcome to Blogs with Boilon Friday. So today is going to be a bit of an interesting one because we have a lot of things to talk about. Unfortunately, on the back of a lot of crap as well, like how terrible the Agatha event is that's ongoing right now. So I don't want to sweep that under the rug. I want people to be aware that that's crap and that is still ongoing. And we're going to have more to talk about that, I think, later on. I don't know if it's going to be in this video. Depends on how much we have to say. But yeah, we do have some new characters to talk about, which is going to be for the upcoming next patch. And we're going to see how good they are or they're not. So just for people to remember, it's based on... Oh, I should have zoomed in. This photo here, it's these characters here that we're going to be talking about. And I'll give my thoughts on these two later on. So without further ado, let's get this blog show started. Okay, so I'm not sure if there was much surprise here. This was, maybe it is, maybe it's not. So, A Force of Nature. It appears that the two characters that we are getting from that silhouette is Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and Nico Minoru, formerly of the Runaways, but also in A Force. So, some of you may have seen the Runaways show on TV. I'm actually starting to watch that again, and it wasn't because of this. Just so happens. Anyways, Spider-Woman is quite interesting, so I'm curious if we get both kits in here, it'll be interesting to see what they do. And this is going to include some reworks as well. So let's zoom in. Introducing A-Force. Oh, fuck. An Alliance War option. Oh my god. It's a War Offense team. Oh god. Okay, so they're probably going to be Scourge team number 2, right? Because that's what happened with Dark Hunters. Okay, Captain Marvel, Jessica Jones, 4 members for now, not She-Hulk, no She-Hulk. So just Captain Marvel and Jessica Jones, and Nico Minoru and Spider-Woman. So that's interesting. Captain Marvel actually features quite heavily in Spider-Woman's comics. My partner actually was following that for a little while, so this is kind of interesting. Updating their base stats and new synergies for A-Force. So Jessica Jones, been benched for a very long time. Captain Marvel, kind of just a floater there, so this is going to be kind of interesting, I think. But it's not a 5-person team, so I guess that gives some theory crafting in terms of who you're going to use in that 5th slot. And once again, very, very similar to Dark Hunters. So Scourge team number 2, I highly suspect this is going to be the case. But let's continue on. So Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, there's some backstory of her. If you don't really know her, we're going to skip through this like we normally do. But the second paragraph here, Spider-Woman swings onto the A-Force team as a blaster with high damage and speed. In addition to painful attacks, she brings a good deal of damage mitigation for her allies by way of passive ability, Pheromone Fighter. You can see her pheromones in action during an Alliance War offense battle, and she can lower the accuracy of enemies who have offense down when Spider-Woman is above 30% health. That's a bit of a weird mechanic to be like, okay, if she's weak, she doesn't have that. And has 3 or more A-Force allies, so that means the full team. So you can't do that until it's the full team. Keep in mind that Spider-Woman starts an Alliance War offense match by applying offense down on everyone? I don't know, it doesn't say, just by applying it, so presumably it's everyone, when she has the full team. So this sounds a lot like Morbius, just applies offense down instead and lowers their accuracy instead of blind. Okay, so we'll find out. Hero City, Bio Blaster, A-Force. Okay, so another Hero City option, by the way. Is she viable for Dark Dimension 5? No Spider-Verse tag, which is kind of interesting for once. You know, she's a spider character that actually doesn't have the Spider-Verse tag. I know that's not the intention, but, you know, normally they did anyways, regardless of their team affiliation. Basic Swift Strikes. Attack primary target for 260 and apply defense down for 2 turns. Chain and apply defense down. This is pretty good, actually, for a basic attack. This is kind of reminiscent of Symbiote Spider-Man, so it's not too bad there. It's chain, though, not rebound, but still, the attack cannot be counterattacked and blocked. So, Symbiote Spider-Man can be blocked, I think, so this one's actually very similar to that, in my opinion. Special Gliding Assault. Energy cost 6 out of 6. Attack primary target for 350, plus apply ability block for 1 turn. Heal block for 2, and offense down for 2. That's pretty good. It's kind of a high cooldown, but the amount of total debuffs is quite heavy, and it's an ability block, so this might prove useful. Chain to 4 targets for 350 damage, and apply heal block for 2 turns and offense down for 2 turns, so similar to this, just does not apply the ability block. Kind of reminds me of a Ghost Spider special a little bit, because the adjacent attacks only applied slow and not ability block. She gets more focus for this, it's unavoidable, and it does more damage on war offense per a Force ally, and also cannot be counterattacked in war. Ultimate Venom Blast, so this is a turn 2 ultimate. Attack primary target for 360 plus 50% per negative effect, so that's interesting. Flip 2 positive effects to negative effects. What I don't like is the order of operations here. So unfortunately this does not come before this, which means that you're not flipping until after the damage has been done. So, but I guess... And actually, that's really unfortunate, because she actually takes advantage of negative effects. So if this went before that, that would have been significantly better. It also extends the duration of all negative effects by 1, so that's fine. It's just that she's not taking advantage of the damage portion, because it's flipping after. This attack cannot be dodged. On war offense, this attack cannot be blocked. Okay, so on spawn, Pheromone Fighter, apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all A-Force allies. Okay, so that's going to be necessary. Also, what's nice is that it's not blocked by war, so this will be usable in other game modes too. On turn, heal for 20% of this character's max health. These are kind of common. Captain Marvel has a passive heal as well. Gain focus per A-Force ally, max health. That's very low. 10% is very low. So I don't know if the other characters also have that too. On war offense, on spawn, if this character has 3, or basically the full team, apply offense down for 2 turns to all enemies. Okay, that's cool. 10,000%. She can't be offense down. And they all also, unfortunately, war offense only also gain resistance to offense down if she has the full team, and they lowers accuracy by 25% for all enemies. So this is really interesting, and I'm not sure who they're trying to be targeting for this. I'm just trying to think about war defense teams. This, I don't think this is probably Heroes for Hire viable, but maybe, you know, RNG based, right? So they could be missing, but I just don't know what the intentions here are yet. Nico Minoru. So she's a real cool, like, mystic character related to the Runaways, but they have, you know, cross paths with other characters. Read the lore there if you care. So she's a controller, high health and speed. Features the necessary tool to shut down some of the top war defenses. Anything specifically? Let me know. As a nod to Nico's ability to only cast a spell once using the Staff of One. Okay, her abilities feature a bit of fun, applying random positive effects when using all of her abilities for the first time in battle. Global Mystic Controller A-Force. Like we need any more fucking Mystic characters. I'm sorry that I had to swear, but holy shit, there's been a lot of Mystic characters lately. I'm like, what are they thinking? Like, it's... we have nothing left. Oh my god. Bloodstrike. 270% damage primary target. Clear all heal block and stun from the ally with the highest damage. So that's kind of interesting, but what if the highest damage is not stunned? Who is this intended for? Who would they normally stun for the highest damage? Like, I'm not thinking. I'd need more time to think about that. Call that ally to attack the primary target. Okay. Kind of interesting for a basic attack, though. And actually, this isn't required for you to use the team. It doesn't say A-Force ally, it just says from the ally. So it could be anyone, actually. After every use of this ability, after the first time during a match, randomly choose one of the following attacks. If this works on a striker, that could be really interesting. Apply bleed to the primary target, gain defense up, or heal the most injured. This is really random. Occult Bloodletting, 5 out of 5. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 250, plus apply 2 bleed to all of them, so that's pretty cool. Gain 2 regen for just her, though. After every use of this ability... Oh, this is different than the above. Disrupt to the primary target, deathproof, or 2 counter. Completely random. So this could be good, could be bad. And while it's fun... It makes me wonder, are you going to be reliant on some of these things in order to make them work? And that's the concerning part, I guess. On war offense, this attack cannot be blocked. Ultimate Grim Tidings, because her nickname before was Sister Grim. Energy cost 8 out of 8. Holy crap, that's really long, so like once per fight. Attack all enemies for 450% damage, plus flip all the positive effects into negative effects. All the following. Deflect, speed up, and defense up. Could this beat Heroes for Hire? Because some of them have deflect, some of them is speed up, and or is this meant for like Young Avengers? Like I'm kind of unsure here. Let me know in the comments down below. I need more time to really think about this. On War Offense, if this character has 3 or more, the whole team, apply Trauma for 2 turns. Okay, here we go. In War Offense only, though. Trauma for 2 turns and Disrupt for 2 turns to the primary target, the enemy with the highest health, and the enemy with the highest damage. Okay, so if you ran this against Heroes for Hire, it would hit possibly 3 people. Young Avengers possibly as well, 3 people. So is this aimed towards those 2 teams? That's what I'm wondering, and I guess it might depend on what 5th character you use, though, still. Because Heroes for Hire still hits really hard, and so I'm just wondering if they have the defensive capacity to do that. And Spider-Woman's, the accuracy thing kind of says, like, maybe they might be able to beat Heroes for Hire, but, like, do we need more? I don't know. This is, like... Dark Hunters 2.0, I feel, a little bit. After every use of the ability, you gain 2 evade, 2 deflect to self, and all allies. Revive a dead ally. Holy shit, that is really random. Randomly choose one. Yeah, could be really fun, could be really shit. On War Offense, gain 100% of extra focus for this attack. It can't be dodged, counterattacked, or blocked. So the fact that they can't be blocked on War Offense basically means no deflecting, right? You know, it's probably going to land, and you're getting extra focus for it. Her passive applies Safeguard, Immunity, and Death Proof to the highest A-Force ally. Okay, only 1 character. That's weird. So that's probably going to be, like, Captain Marvel, maybe? I don't know. Apply Immunity and Death Proof to the lowest health ally. And so this kind of, to me, sounds like it's meant to, like, stop Culling Wing from hitting the lowest. I don't know. Gain 50% drain, 50% focus, and then, but that's just to her. And then 40% focus for each A-Force. So she's very heavy in the focus, and she's got really high drain, but it doesn't really spread that to the team. 10% max health per A-Force ally, so her health is going to be very high, so it makes me think that she's going to be getting this stuff. She's getting a lot. That means she's getting 30% up more hit points, and then she spreads 10% max health to the team, just like Jessica Drew gave 10% to the team, so that's 20%. Wow, updates here already. So this is a lot. Health 41%, damage 21%. So all of this, I'm going to have to put into a spreadsheet and see what that really matters. And so I'm interested more in the kit rather than the stats. We'll talk about the stats, I guess, in a later video. I'll probably be able to do that, throw into a spreadsheet and plug that in. So let's see. New on the basic. Generate 1 ability energy for a random defender or A-Force ally. That was not at full energy. Okay, so that wasn't there before. And it's guaranteed now? No, it's not. Each attack has a 50% chance to generate 1 ability energy. So basically they just changed it to defender and A-Force ally, but now it's at, that was not at full energy, so it's not being wasted. Her special, generate 1 ability energy. It basically just adds A-Force in and generate, no, that's the same, isn't it? Yeah, it's just the A-Force part. Barrier. Okay, that's interesting. Self and all A-Force allies for 20% of her max health. Barrier all other allies for 10%. So that's interesting. That's really interesting, actually. Apply +1 defense up to a max of 3 turns to self and all A-Force allies. That's also really interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on defenders. I don't know why you would, but... And immunity. Wow, that's really good. She's kind of slow, though. Jessica Jones is... Oh, her speed went up, actually. We'll have to see how that impacts, because her speed was, like, under 100. It was pretty slow, so we'll have to make sure that it actually means something now. Her ultimate... I was gonna say, oh wow, it's a slight, not an AoE, it's a cleave, I guess you could say, here for 400% damage to adjacent targets, clear all positive effects to more than 1 target now, so that's cool, that's neat. The passive, 10% max health. Okay, so everyone's getting 10%, it seems, on their rework, so I guess that would be about 40% total. That's not terrible if that's the case. 40% armor for the entire team, 40% resistance, that's pretty good. And on War Offense, on spawn, fill speed bar. Okay, all right. So that's where they're getting ahead of other characters. So that's going to be really interesting. That should put them ahead of characters like Young Avengers. Heroes for Hire, completely different story. So I don't know if that's going to be intended there. Captain Marvel, some pretty good base stat increases there. Again, not going to go over it just now because there's lots to talk about here. We're going to jump ahead to the attacks though. So this is the passive. Oh, is that it? Holy shit, that's a lot of text. While in binary on end of turn, attack all enemies for 100%, 50%, plus clear all evades. Should it be clear evades first? Because otherwise the damage is just going to hit and evade. Or am I wrong? While in binary, in war, if this character has 2 or more A-Force allies, this attack cannot be blocked or dodged. Okay, interesting. 10% max health to A-Force allies. And that's about it. So she didn't actually... It was mostly Jessica Jones. She didn't really get much of a rework. But the base stats are... could be sizable. The health and the damage, because that's what's really going to get impacted in binary. And so that's going to be really interesting to see how that kind of translates into actually Captain Marvel in battle. So we'll have to see about that. Strike Pass Season 15. We have Misty Knight and her new costume. Featured rewards. Is that Strike Pass, or would that just be... Strike... Costumes are normally an RTA. So I'm a little bit confused. But maybe that's the case. That's weird. Because normally Strike Passes don't include costumes, I think. It doesn't really matter. Morbius is going to be in the Red Star store April 28th. So that's cool. If you need upgrades for him. Phoenix coming back around. Wong, finally. Wait, what? On Monday? Holy shit. Wong's on Monday, everyone. And then Silver Samurai on Thursday. I don't know if that's good or not. It's mid-Agatha, of course, but is Monday better than Thursday? Maybe, because I don't have to blitz over the weekend, so for what it's worth, so I can actually have next weekend off from blitzing to some degree. Okay, so there was some other shit that I wanted to talk about with regards to Agatha, but this went on for a while because I didn't expect all of the updates to be here. War offense, not too sure. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. There's a lot to talk about here and a lot to unpack. We'll be doing that in future videos, I think. We're going to be doing like stat unpacking for the other characters. And I think that there is a good chance that this team is going to be the second Scourge team, or one of them. It really feels to me like a Dark Hunters 2.0. I think there's a good chance that this team is going to be required for the next Scourge event, whenever that happens to be. I don't think it's going to be next patch, but it could be the patch after that. So this is something that you might want to actually keep in mind. So otherwise than that, it's a War Offense team. Obviously, I don't feel that great about it, and I don't know who their intended target is necessarily, and whether or not you need to care about that, because you might already have a team that can actually deal with that already. Either way, if you like these characters, Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and Nico Minoru, awesome. Maybe it's a good patch for you. I think we'll have to see a little bit more in terms of what's left over. And of course, as far as the other characters are concerned, a lot of people are saying that's Bishop, sorry, not Bishop, Gambit, could also be Havoc. And actually, I kind of want this to be Blade. Some people are saying Blade. Could be Professor X, but I really don't think that's the case. Let me know who you think some of those characters are going to be in the comments down below. We'll talk about more of that next week as well. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And of course, until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.